The next part of our CJ7 restoration is going to be this frame. There have been a bunch of owners for this Jeep over the years, a bunch of repairs, and a bunch of things that I'm not too sure what they were, but we're going to get around to fixing them now, so take a watch and I'll slow it down if I see anything that's worth talking about slower. So here we are down to just the frame on the CJ7. All in all, it's not in that bad shape. There's some well-intentioned patches that have been added to it. The normal places back here. I'm now working on cutting this patch out so they can be re-welded back in flush with the frame. You'll see most of it here is pretty clean. Looks like this frame was blue at one point. There's a bar welded across here for the fiberglass tub. You can see a couple of other patches welded on there. I'm told those weren't structural repairs. They did it to reinforce the frame. I'm not too sure about that, but we'll clean it all up. So up front, there's nothing. Doesn't seem to be any repairs, any damage. It's just a few spots here at the back. So we're going to be cleaning those up, re-welding them properly. These big plates here were welded on. When you put the fiberglass tub on, they recommend putting a bar between that mount and that mount because the fiberglass tub mount is right there in the middle. And I guess they just put these plates on. They'll be coming off, and we'll do that properly as well. And then I like this one because they lifted it. They just welded a steel bar onto the bottom of the frame instead of putting the spacing pucks that they should have put for the transmission pan. So we're going to cut that off. There's nothing structural there at all. It was just used as a spacer. So we'll cut that off and put the proper spacer pucks in. We're going to need to replace the engine mounts. Those are toast. Shocks will probably get replaced. Rear axle is a Yukon axle, so we'll be keeping that. It's over there. And the rest of it's just going to get cleaned up and then repainted, and should be fun. So this gives us a good chance to see what's actually underneath. I can see the weld, but what I can't see is why they put such a big patch on there. This is what they were saying about how they were reinforcing things. I don't see any holes, minus that. So we're going to clean that up. We're going to weld it back together, make it flush like it should be. And we'll take a look at some of these other patches. We're continuing to work on the frame here. You saw yesterday how that had a patch on it, and turned out there was nothing under the patch, no holes or anything. So we've put that back together. It's now flush with the frame again. It's nice and solid, and we're working our way forward here. The next thing I've got to do is get this plate off, which is welded on most sides. There is a body mount under here, and we're just working on cutting that free now to clean up that spot and get a bar in there the way it's supposed to be for the fiberglass tub. here's another one that makes you wonder. There's no hole under there. See an old weld, but big plate on top and solid steel underneath. I'll clean that up and check that weld, make sure it's strong enough, and still got to clean up all this, but it's coming. So the frame is out for sandblasting. It should be back in a couple of days, and here we are looking at the front end. We have pulled off stabilizer, steering pump, and we knew that something was not right in here. Definitely too tight. On this side we're okay. The ball joint on this end is almost completely seized. So what we're going to be doing next is stripping down this front end. We'll open up the differential, clean that out, change the fluids on that, check the brakes, change all 4 ball joints, check U-joints, and generally give her a bath. So we're getting into this now. We've got the hub apart, the backing plate off. It's over there. I'm not really going to show you how to rebuild this. There's tons of videos on how to do that already, but just for this project, we can tell that our bearings are filthy. I'll have to clean that up. Hub looks okay, races look okay, but it's dirty. Here, the ball joints, lower one is done for sure. So we're going to get that off next, and top one's got to go, and I'm pretty sure that that's not supposed to do that. So I think we're going to be replacing a U-joint too. But when we're all done, this hub will look good as new. So I was working away on cleaning the front differential and springs and that sort of stuff, and I got the call that the frame is ready for pickup. Sandblasting's done, so now we're on our way to pick that up. We'll be down there in 20 minutes or so and take a look and see how it is. Okay, so we've got this thing inside now, cleaned it up, have it on the horses, and did a little bit of the frame repair that needs to be done. And now I want to start painting it. I'm going to start with the inside of the frame. I'm using the Eastwood internal frame coating, and I've got about 6 cans of it, but should only take about 3. It's got a nice little extension nozzle on it. You just swap out the one that it comes with, and you can fit this inside the frame rails through any number of the holes. So if you didn't know beforehand, you know now. It makes a hell of a mess, but I've used 2.5 cans. You basically go in through every hole in the frame you can find, try to get at it from both sides, front and back. Do everything you can to get it covered on the inside. So here we are, fully painted in Eastwood Rust Encapsulator Platinum, which is the silver stuff. Frame looks great. Inside has been done also in Eastwood with the internal frame coating. And I've got to give this 4 to 6 hours to dry enough. Did the bottom side there last night, flipped it over this morning and just finished this. And once this has some time to dry up, before 48 hours, I have to top coat it. So that'll start sometime this evening, and we'll get it all black, but frame nice and clean, looking good.